Hello, students. Good morning to everyone. Welcome back to my science class. Yes, how are you all? After this FE3, everything, so we are meeting here, right? So, here, I hope you're all fine by the grace of God. And now, we are going to continue our class here, which we have stopped. So, in the previous class, what are all the concepts we have discussed? Yeah, that is the word force. Right. So, what do you mean by force? Can anyone tell? Yeah, very good. So, a push or pull is said to be the force. And also, we have seen some of the different types of forces. What are they? They are gravitational force, frictional force, beyond force, right? So, magnetic force, elastic force, electrostatic force, muscular force, right? So these are various types of forces we have discussed in the previous class. So about all these gravitational, frictional, electrostatic, magnetic, elastic, beyond as well as muscular forces we have discussed. And so beyond force is an upward force that is produced by the surrounding gas or the liquid, an object that is actually produced by the surrounding gas or a liquid on an object, enabling the object to float or rise up, right? So this is the upward force. Okay, so for example, whenever you can see the boat, right? So boat is floating on the floating on the water, right? So weight is actually that the weight is towards the earth, and beyond force, that the opposite force that helps the boat to move in water, right? So that is the upward force in the water. So that upward force or the beyond force helps the boat to move forward, right? That helps these forces. For example, these beyond forces is boats and ships sailing in the sea, right? So these are some of the forces we have discussed. And also you have got one checkpoint in the about the forces. So I request everyone to complete that checkpoint. And now in today's class, let us move to the new topic, that is energy. Okay, so energy. So in today's class, we are going to learn about the energy, types of energy. So what are all the so here we will found energy in many forms, right? So we will see any energy in many forms, and let us see all the different forms of energy, and also the renewable and non-renewable energy here.
Energy. The ability to do work is called energy. There are many forms of energy. Let us discuss. Heat energy. Burning fuels such as coal, LPG, and kerosene release heat energy. In our homes, we use heat energy to cook food. Light energy. Light energy helps us to see things around us. Electric bulbs, lamps, tube lights, and candles are some sources of light energy. The sun is also a source of light energy. Mechanical energy. Energy that an object has because of its position. Potential energy, or its movement. Kinetic energy is called mechanical energy. The water stored behind a dam has potential energy, which gets converted to kinetic energy as the water falls from a height. Electrical energy. Appliances such as electric bulbs, tube lights, radio, television, computer, and washing machine use electrical energy. Electrical energy is generated at power stations and supplied to our homes. Wind energy. Power of the moving air, wind, is utilized with the help of windmills to generate electrical energy. Sound energy. Portable audio players, television, radio, and loudspeakers are sources of sound energy. Musical instruments such as guitar and tabla also produce sound energy. Solar energy. The energy that we get from the sun is called solar energy. It is used to provide heat, light, hot water, and electricity. Geothermal energy. The energy that we get from the heat of the earth is called geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is used to generate electricity. Renewable and non-renewable energy. The energy that can be renewed or replenished over a period of time is called renewable energy. Solar energy, wind energy, and geothermal energy are examples of renewable energy. The energy that cannot be renewed or replenished over a period of time is called non-renewable energy. Energy obtained from fossil fuels, such as coal and petroleum, are examples of non-renewable energy.
Yes, here we have discussed the many forms of energy. What they are heat energy. Okay, so this is used to cook our food also, and in the same way light energy that help us to see the things, right? So electrical bulb, lamp, so these are all the sources of light, right? And the sun is also the main source of light is sun. Okay, the main source of light is sun. Yes, here you can see the sun. And next comes is mechanical energy. So that is the energy possessed by our body is known as mechanical energy. That mainly particularly it is said to be the kinetic energy, or if its position, that is said to be the potential energy. And also the energy stored, the water that is stored in the dam is said to be the potential energy, and when it is moved, that is kinetic energy. And in case, and next comes is next form of energy is electrical energy. So appliances such as electrical bulb, right? So these are some of the appliances, so in which the electricity is used. So electrical energy is generated at power stations and it is supplied to all these. Okay, so here you can see the power station, right? So this is the power station, and here you are seeing the windmills. So windmills, so these windmills are mainly, you can see the windmills will be at okay, so these windmills on the upper side of the hills. Okay, mainly why they are placed them is the air is present, so much amount of air is present on the, so on that particular area, so they are kept, or they are located on the hilly regions. Okay, so yeah, where the wind is blown fastly, and with the help of that moving air or a wind, energy is produced, and that energy is used to generate the electricity. And in the same way, for sound energy, the audio players, televisions, right? So these are all the sources of energy. And here some of the instruments also like tabla, guitar, flute, and they also forms the sound energy. Okay, in the same way we have got so the different forms like okay, here you are seeing the sound energy which can be produced by tabla, guitar, loudspeakers, etc. They form this sound energy. And solar energy, the energy that we get from sun is known as solar energy. As the name says that solar, we will get it from the sun, because the sun is the main source of energy. So here at the right side you are going to see the solar panels by which we will get the solar energy. And geothermal energy is produced by the heat of earth, heat produced from the earth. And in the same way hydroelectrical energy. Okay, so hydro means water, through the water. Likewise, how we get the energy from the wind, in the same way we will get the energy from the water too. So here water that is run through the turbines, and when the turbines rotate we will get the energy is produced, and in turn that energy is used to various purposes. Okay, so next comes is renewable and non-renewable energy. Yes, so here renewable. Renewable means which can be renewed. Non-renewable means which cannot be renewed. Okay, non-renew, renew. New means we are going. New means what we can say that is the new one, ಹೊಸದು ಹೌದಾ. ರಿನ್ಯೂ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಹೊಸದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಪುನರಾವರ್ತನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಹೌದಾ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ let me say for example, so here that is sun solar energy, right. So solar energy na consider ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ so we will get the energy from sun, right. So here if we use much solar energy, but if we much use of solar energy doesn't affect us, because we will get the solar energy much, because the sun never dies and never rises up. Okay, so arise or here the sun never lie or never dies. Okay, so sun is universal and he is natural. Okay, so we will get the energy from the sun for long time, for millions and millions of years. But in case of gas or in case of petroleum, so we will get the petroleum from earth, right. So yeah, let me revise that in the chapter. Yeah, let me tell. Yeah, in non-metallic minerals, so we have got that petroleum, right. So petroleum is formed in the manner that we have seen that when the dead decaying organisms rot away, they form a thick lumpy brown material called peat, and tons of water mud after long time that turns into coal. And in the same way petroleum is also formed in the way how coal is formed, right. So we will get these fuels like petroleum, diesel, kerosene, and these are all obtained, and these are called the non-renewable resources, because these once these all fuels or these all materials or these resources disappear from the earth, we cannot renew into the earth. Okay, so these coal, petroleum, right. So these coal, petroleum, diesel, kerosene, so these are said to be the non-renewable energy sources, because once they get disappear or once they are completed from the earth means we cannot do, or we cannot what we say, we cannot add into the earth, right. So we cannot add them. So but in case of solar energy, sun is the main source, and here we can get the more amount of solar energy with the help of sun, right. So we say that renewable and non-renewable. Here renewable means which can be renewed, which can be replenished after. So here renewable sources, these sources do not run out. Okay, therefore they provide us lot of energy for the longer durations. Okay, longer duration. So these solar energy, wind energy, water energy, hydro means water, hydroelectricity, that is hydro energy means we will get the energy from the water, geothermal energy, biomass means so the dead remains of plants and animals, with the help of those we will get the energy, that is said to be the biomass. And here wind energy, solar energy, water energy, geothermal energy, biomass, they can give us energy. So these are the sources of energy that give us energy for longer durations. But when we talk about the non-renewable resources, okay, So the non-renewable energy resources, they do not help us for the longer time. So if they can be completed, if they complete once from the earth, means we will never get them into the earth. Okay, so these energy sources cannot be, so these energy sources like fossil fuels, coal, nuclear, natural gas. So these energy resources, if once they are completed, they are completely vanished from the earth, means they cannot be used again. Okay, they cannot be used again from. We cannot use these sources, because if they once completed, means we cannot add them into the earth. Okay, so here they are limited, we will say they are limited, and formation of these also takes the millions and millions of years, as we studied in the first chapter, right? So in the formation of coal, we saw that, so when the dead and decaying animals, the pieces, right? So what we say that actually coal is formed when the remains of dead and plant animals is rotted away for the longer periods of time, right? So whenever it forms only when it takes the longer durations to form. Okay, likewise we say that these are non-renewable, and these energy sources do not help us, they help us but they cannot help us for the longer duration, they will help us for the shorter duration, hence we have to protect these non-renewable resources. Okay, so we have to use these non-renewable resources in a limited manner, right? Because if once they are completely disappear from the earth, we cannot gain or we cannot add them into the earth, right? So this is why we have to use them in a limited manner, and they will become extinct soon. So to avoid that we have to use in a use them as limited. Okay, so therefore it's very important to use these sources energy judiciously, means while using these non-renewable sources we have to be careful, because once they are replenished, or once they are completely disappear from the earth, we will not we will not add them to the earth very quickly, because they take longer durations to form, right? So thus we should use non-renewable sources in a non-renewable sources are in limited manner. Okay, and be careful while using these non-renewable resources. So what are them is, they are fossil fuels, coal, natural gas, nuclear gases, right? So these are the examples of non-renewable resources, right? So in today's class we have learned about the renewable and non-renewable resources, as well as the energy and its different forms. Okay, so if you find any difficulties of understanding this class, you can ask me. Thank you, have a nice day.